Alright, hello and welcome. My name is Clayton Bridges. Today we're coming in with another bike video. There's a few things on your bike that you can change that will make it feel a lot different. These are all the touch points of the bike itself where you as a human being make contact with the bike. So the bike grips and the bike pedals are two things that make a really big impact on how the bike feels because that's what you're making direct contact with. And they're pretty cheap and sometimes fun ways to change your bike and customize it a little bit. So I've already installed some hand grips on my new Trek mountain bike, but today I'm going to be putting on new pedals. The main reason I'm going to be putting on new pedals is because the current pedals are designed for clip-on attachments for your shoes. I honestly don't know how clip-on attachments really work or how your shoes actually clip into it. I don't know if it's like a device that goes over your shoe or what. But the previous owner of this bike had those pedals on. He told me he did have the old pedals, and if I contacted him, he would be able to ship them or I could pick them up. That didn't really happen, so I just went ahead and I bought myself some aftermarket pedals. Now these things are super duper cool because they're purple, and purple is my favorite color. Who knew? These are a really very good looking anodized aluminum that is this beautiful, beautiful color. These are a very, very beautiful purple that are just a lovely color, and they look sick. And so it is going to be a complementary color to my green, which is going to be nice. So it's going to be green with purple accents. I did want purple grips, but whatever, I'm okay with the green grips. But this will be a nice match, and this should be a very simple install. This is something that is pretty simple for almost anyone to figure out. Most threads on pedals for most bikes are the same. It's like a 5/8 something, I think. But generally speaking, these pedals are pretty universal, so they're easy to find and you don't have to worry too much about the match. And then installing them is very simple. You really just need a wrench to unthread these or unscrew it. The only thing you need to know is that one of them is going to be reverse thread. I just read online a good little tip, which is basically saying when you're taking it off, you are turning the wrench towards the front of the bike, no matter which side that you're doing it on. But generally, I believe it's the left side of the bike that has the reverse threads. So to remove it, you have to do the opposite of lefty-loosey, righty-tighty, which is a bit awkward. But this install should take a matter of minutes and be really fun and easy. So let's get into it. We have our pedal, and this is going to be on the right side. So this should be the typical way to go. So this is the one that's not reverse thread. Typically it's the one on the left, and when I say left, I mean we're referencing as if we are on the bike. So if we're on the bike facing forward, to our left is going to be the reverse threads. So here on our pedal, we have our right side, and this actually should be our more typical threads. I've already cracked this loose, so we can really just unthread the pedal, and it's just not a whole lot harder than that. A lot of the pedals come labeled left and right, which is really helpful because then it tells us which thread it is. So again, this is our right side. We've removed the pedal. We should just have some nice clean threads here. Hopefully they are clean. You might be able to see kind of the clip-on mechanism that is kind of a pain in the butt, because what happens is when the pedal's sitting, sometimes the pedal gets flipped 180, and then when you put your foot on this, guess what? It's not flat. And so your foot will slip off the pedal. So for clip-in, it's probably really, really good because it actually allows you to clip in, but for regular riding without clips, it really sucks. So I'm super happy to be swapping these out right now, to be honest. And our new pedal has an R on it, which indicates right. So we're gonna go ahead and just line it up, carefully start these threads by hand, of course. And there we are. And so I'm going to go ahead and thread these on. Again, this is a 15mm wrench that I have used. Gonna make sure that's on there nice and tight. These are not something we want to come off. It's worth noting there appears to be an Allen key right here with some kind of set screw. There's a number on it, and there's clearly an access hole here. So I'm thinking you can adjust the preload on this bearing and make this looser or tighter. So that's kind of interesting. I don't know if all pedals are like that. I don't know if that's something I'm really gonna play with, but there you go. And already that purple next to that green is looking pretty cool. I think it's a nice complement. All right, so let's flip the bike around, get the other one done. Okay, now for this other side, I'm just gonna go ahead and do the reverse of what I did up there, and I'm gonna go ahead and just assume that this is the reverse thread. Holding these still can be challenging. I just reached through the bike and sort of grabbed the other pedal to hold it still because we get a lot of rotating. But I just broke this one loose. So going to the right is unthreading it, which makes it our reverse thread side. Pretty cool. Once you break it loose with the wrench, it's pretty easy to take it off by hand. And same thing, we're just gonna thread it on. Keep in mind it's a reverse thread, so we're gonna have to go the wrong way, which feels very weird. And bam. So I'm gonna go ahead and something you don't really want working their way loose. So there you are. And now we have our upgraded pedals. We've got our nice pedals on. Rockpro's pedals are what I went with. There's definitely higher end pedals. These are relatively inexpensive. We'll see if I manage to break them. I know these little studs I think typically can be replaced. And I don't know, the only thing that can really go wrong is the bearing, or if there's some kind of like physical issue with it. But generally speaking, should be pretty tough. They are wider than my old pedals, so they are larger, which will be easier to find the pedal. And you know, they are the same 180 out. So if I ever pull my foot off and put it back on, I won't ever have to worry about readjusting it again, which was the absolute bane of my existence on this mountain bike, because yeah, I kept having to readjust that with this guy down here. So I think I'm actually going to throw my bike on the back of my car and go to the bike park. Alright, so I took these pedals to the local bike park and rode on them for a while. I'm not a super crazy rider, I'm very new at this, but they held up just fine and they feel really good. I like that they're a larger platform. I love looking at them, they're very cool looking. These grips I think provide a lot of grip and keep your feet pretty planted and stops it from sliding around, but these I think could probably tear up your shoes quite badly. I don't know, these might be removable, but I think they are fine and you'll probably wear them down a little bit, but it feels pretty good and it's definitely a great grip. Center a little too hard, I guess. I blew a tire at the bike park, I suppose. Alright, swapping out bike pedals is something that is pretty cheap and fun and a cool way to customize your bike and tinker with your machine here. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like if you enjoyed this video, leave a comment if you have anything to say or ask, and I will see you later. Don't forget to subscribe.